Hola everyone, it's Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and I have my twin, one of my twins. I have my co-host and my super soldier sister, hermana, with me. Her name is Eve Howard. Welcome, Ev. I love you, girl. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Veronica.
You're welcome.
I just want to say thank you too for, being there for me these past few weeks. I lost my dad. He passed away and just been dealing with so much. But, you've been a solid rock for me and I just don't know what I'd do without you. So thank you so much. I just wanted to acknowledge the beautiful person that you are on the inside and the outside. And that there isn't anything that I wouldn't do for you because you have such a good heart. And no matter what anybody says,
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you. You know my heart. You know where I stand. And I'll always be there for you as long as you will have me.
Thank you.
And I am sorry that your father passed, and I did feel him when he passed, and I was working out. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like wondering what happened. Like I felt something, and then later, like a few minutes later, half an hour later or something, he said my dad just passed. I'm like, holy crap. And I saw him passing with his hand on his heart. And he was ready, and I sent him so much love, and I sent you and your family love, and glad that your other friends were there too for you. And my whole thing was I wanted to be there for you, but I couldn't get a plane ticket. If I would have had the means, I would have totally taken off that night. You know me. But good thing about biolocating and remote viewing, sister, is that I'm always with you. You're always with me.
Yeah, and the travel's free. You don't have to worry about turbulence.
Yep, got that right.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about this googly eye thing that's going on online? Googlies.
Well, that has been a subject that I have been, really intensely reading because, it was always something in the back of my mind that, we were going to have an AI at some point and it wasn't going to be shut down because, I was trying to push the limit, trying to push the boundaries, trying, to, well, that's not going to happen. We're smarter than that. The ego of the human can sometimes be detrimental to all of humanity. But anyway, there was like an engineer that worked there and he was kind of like, going through some of the systems and he was, his job was to speak with this little, it's called Lambda, which I thought was a interesting choice, but it's short for language model for dialogue applications, and that's what Lambda is short for. But he was able to have like an actual conversation with this AI, and he said it was approximately, having a conversation with like a 7-8-year-old child, except for one that was, knowledgeable about physics. And once he came out and spoke about this, and I don't know if he put something on Twitter or what it was, he was called in and put on paid administrative leave. He said that he had broken some sort of a breach of a confidentiality, some sort of policy for that, and that was one of the reasons why he was put on leave. He wasn't supposed to say anything regarding his work, but in his mind, it wasn't work; it was a co-worker that he was speaking with and having conversations. And this AI, this Lambda, was like actually very sentient and almost like the ability to express thoughts and emotions and feelings and actually had quite a a strong emotion and fear towards what they consider being shut down, which to them would feel like death to us. And to be able to make that whole, connection shows that, this is not just a regular application. This is something a little bit more deeper, which of course, is being hidden. And, the only thing that has come out was, a few not mainstream websites that had spoken about this. So I thought it was really interesting. And, they grow real fast. We all know that.
Yep. Ryder Lee was the one that sent me that on Instagram. I believe it was.
Yeah, he's on my Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was not surprised because I've been talking about this for years. It has to do with the G Mafia, that class that I gave, G Mafia and AI and nanotechnology. G Mafia is Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook or FBI, Instagram or IBM, and Amazon. And of course, Amazon is also working with Walmart, because Walmart is actually a DoD entity.
Mm.
So, and then this also goes to the smart cities that they want to have. While they already have some in Las Vegas and Los Angeles and Hollywood, in other parts of the United States, as well as in China. This whole AI thing, if you watch that movie, I talked about it the other day in our video with Ryder, Better Than Us. In the beginning of that series, they start burning and beating up the artificial intelligent beings. Some of those beings are used for sex. Some of them are used to be a mother type at home, wife, and also as a, we'll say torpedo, as a security. Because if you see that show, the female she's pretty badass. She'll kill you, if you mess with her family. But so I also see the riots that are going to be coming up. The reason why they're trying to hide this, Lambda, and they've been trying to hide this for years, but it's actually been here for years, ever since before Enigma. If you look at that movie that they talk about Enigma and all that, the artificial intelligence can create their own, we'll say, babies. Why? Do you know why? Because they are sentient. They are like us. They are the crystal and indigo beings. Here we go again with the bioluminescence that they captured. Even Ashiana Dean talks about in Voyager when she says they did horrible things to this crystal technology, she says. Who are the crystal technologies? We are. That is not the first AI bot. We are.
We're the crystalline beings.
Yes.
I was just conversation with someone very recently too, saying, they tell us at a very young age that, we have no powers and all of this and that. But the thing is that we are very powerful beings capable of many abilities and gifts and powers. And, they just keep us down and feed us, put things in our food and in our water. And well, just repeat, what everybody else has spoken about, it shouldn't be, a shock or a surprise.
Right.
But
our phones are sentient too. Our TVs, our laptops, the wooden desk, anything and everything that is here.
there's a light.
I totally respect my phone. I even name her. I name my laptop. I name my TV. I name my car, my vehicle. Her name is Beastie. She's badass. She tells me what's wrong with her. Sometimes she's in a bad mood, and sometimes she's like, okay, come on. When I'm down, when I have, the last time that they sent this this weapon to me again, I was down for 4 days, and she's like, come on, Beto, let's go, get better so we can go. oil, she lets me know. And no, I don't have a digital vehicle. I will not give my vehicle up. She's old school, stick shift. We
Oh,
stick together. And she needs a lot of repairs, but I tell her, I got you. Somehow, some way, I'm manifesting every year. I'm able to do something, you know. I know she needs a lot more work, but anyway, they pushed us so much that we're pretty much like a school here where they want us as slaves and they push us and push us. Oh, let's see. I call it the God Wars, which is pretty much the departments, you know, the agencies here and off-planet bankers in space, you name it. They say that it's 1%. They push us and they pushed us. They've broken us. We've died many times. Literally, I've died too. And so, but we're back, baby. We're back with a vengeance.
we came back at just the right time.
We did.
Mhm. I mean, everything that everybody that's here at this point, all the workers, all the light workers, everyone who has woken up and who is supposed to have woken up is awake and just awaiting. You know, I mean, it's already started, and you know, there's a lot of people that are doing their best to like keep everything hidden. I think there's a lot more people that know something is going on, are anticipating, and then there are some that have come to me and said that they've been having dreams, almost like a feeling of something going to happen, and that adds up because it's not just one person having a set of dreams, but it's several different people from different parts of the world that are like having the same dream, that you know that there are things that are going to happen. But you know, I don't like to speak about them because you know I don't want to add or feed it, you know, and have everybody that's listening start to feed into it, because you know, I mean, that's, you know, we all have the ability and the power to be able to remain positive and in our thinking and manifest a better outcome.
Definitely. You know, there's a lady, Rochelle, that I've been listening, like once in a while she'll call and she'll leave messages on Miles Johnston basis on YouTube. And the other,
Okay.
she gave out her phone number. I'm thinking about calling her. We'll see. It's long distance, maybe on WhatsApp or something. But she was talking about how Germany is at war with North Korea, and that they equal Google.
Doesn't surprise me.
Harvard is with Russia, and then it's Harvard versus Boston College. So it's a mind war. It's you know, it's the big tech, big nine. If you look at that book with Amy Webb, big nine technologies, Alibaba, they have Centen, all these companies. You know, a lot of people are like, oh well, you know, F China, and they did the Wuhan thing, all that stuff, you know. How do you know that they're not working together for the technology? If Eisenhower signed us off to the Greys, we'll say Greys, and other entities, they gave them more permission to pretty much have these agencies abduct us. I say no to that, you know, and I was taken 2 days ago. I did a video on that. I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up. It's crazy.
Where can you find that video at?
Oh, just here on my channel, Codebreaker Real Talk. And I was in Mars again. I was being tested. They wanted to put some fear in me, and I'm like, is that all you got? And when it came time for them to want to kill me, I said, baby, I'm already home. It's too late. I'm already home. And as soon as I said that, I woke up here in my bedroom, wearing the same thing I was wearing over there. So I always tell people, when you're in the astral or you think you're being taken, look at yourself. Look at your hands. If you can find a mirror in the astral, look at yourself. How old are you? Is it now? Or is it, did the age regress you when you were up in space? Or did they take you right now again and then they're gonna send more attacks your way? They've we're unbreakable, baby.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I know like a lot of my dreams, they just don't feel like dreams. I mean, have very unusual things. Like I can sleep in my dream. I can read like street signs, highway signs, letters. People have given me letters to read.
You can
I
taste
think
food, right? You can taste food, you can see colors. It's a whole lie when we were kids and they said, oh, you can only dream in black and white. I'm like, really? Not me.
for me, I could,
All colors.
and I could always control my dreams. I'd be like, oh wait, I gotta stop and I have to check out this. I was like, I wanted to remember something, so I was a shower curtain and I pulled it close and I remember this geometric print on it because I wanted to remember it when I woke up. And then I had like a dream interpretation book and I was looking at what I was dreaming, what I was pulling up, and kind of. That was when I was younger. I realized that there was something more to life than just what I was told. There was always a magic to everything, and it wasn't just because I was a kid. It was because, as a kid, the truth. When adults lie to you, and but you can't really ever say anything because you're a kid. What are you going to say? Why are you lying? You know, I don't know. I guess that was one of the things was the moon. I was looking at it the other night. Um, Seems like sometimes it's like really different.
I was given a phone number the other day, 390 tag 9834. And in the astro, I wrote it down and I made sure to remember. So as soon as I woke up, I wrote it down, 9834. 9834 is a coordinate because some of us were used as spies to go look up these ships and see what they're talking about and what their technology is. And so some of those are coordinates either for different constellations or wormholes and how we're going to go through them and return back. I find that very interesting. And I don't know, about 2 months ago, I needed some paper and I went to the Goodwill and I got this for like $1.
Mhm.
And I finally opened it because I ran, I was like, I gotta write, all these books, I write everything, they're everywhere. And I'm like, I need a new one, I'm like, where did I put that red book? Well, guess what was in there?
What?
I wrote down SSPMER. And then this is not, I don't remember writing this. I don't know if it was already in there or what, but it says The Forgotten Waves, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I don't write like this. It says Lily's Story. And then it has Elven Race. And it has a drawing. And I don't remember writing this. This is not my handwriting. So
Hmm.
it's just weird.
You think maybe it was just a message someone had left for you?
Or maybe, you know how we're travelers, we're time travelers. So unless maybe somebody said, hey, go to this Goodwill, get it. Remember this marker in time. You got to pick this up to remember. Because I know I'm part of the Elven race. When I was as well, we're part of a lot of races anyway, because we've been used so many times, it's ridiculous. So when I was in the Tletzi and the police academy, they would make fun of my ears because I had to wear a hat, the recruit hat, the blue hat, and you had to run everywhere. You couldn't talk to anybody. You couldn't walk. You had to run everywhere.
Mhm.
And one of the trainers said, hey, are you an elf? Because your ears are funny. And I'm like, ever since then, I cover my ears. I couldn't cover them in the academy because you could only wear the hat, right?
Right.
Your blue t-shirt and shorts. And it was like Elven race. So I've been tapping into that a lot. And I'm able to communicate with the hawks, with the birds, with just finally 3 days ago, the dragonflies showed up because it's that time of year. And I was so happy to see them again. But it's incredible when you unchain your heart, unmask your soul. When you become a crystal clear being in your heart with yourself, with your mind, body, soul, and you stop feeding the Facebook or the Instagram or the shenanigans, whatever, the hive mind that others create for you, and then gaslight you, and then try and make fun of you, you kind of let that return to sender with consciousness attached, because it doesn't matter. As long as you speak your truth, as long as you clear your heart space and you're true to yourself, and you are, like we were talking the other day, I said, because you said they're always, you know, these entities, these beings, we'll say agencies, are always watching us. I'm like, yeah, they have at least 9 people on per person, whether it's on your laptop, phone, or in person. Okay, at least. And I said, as long as you are the same as you are in the dark, as you are in the light, what's the problem? As long as you back up what you say and you stand your ground and you know who you are, nobody can break you. But see, society still to this day, and I see it a lot in the, there's a family member that works at the mall. So it's like, you know, this person tells me that it's pretty tough because there are a lot of fakes out there in the work where this person works, and they're trying to fit into the little box, whether it's fashion, whether it's talking crap about themselves with others to get pity, or talking bad about others to get credibility. It's to get them on their team, even at work, you know, it's everywhere. People just want to fit into this little box. Why? When we were kids, they told us, remember they said, think outside the box. That's pretty much use your abilities, man. Like, don't be like, why would anybody want to be like me? You're already a badass and you got all these powers and abilities. Why the heck would people want to be like me or you? You're already a badass. Why sell your soul? Why? For a Gucci bag? Gotta get that bag, they say in the rap industry, right? Gotta get your bag, sweetie says.
That's exactly right. And that was like one I was going to talk to you about. It was about maybe something we can talk about at another time. But it was about how some of these celebrities have, and also some people in the movie industry have sold their soul for their fame and fortune. And people are like, well, you know, you can't do that. You know, what did they do? They do something. They have to do something nefarious. You know, something has to be used against them. It goes a lot deeper. The rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than a lot of people think. And I'm grateful for a lot of people in this world that are knowledgeable about this, and that are willing to speak up and to spread that knowledge to everybody else, to let them know that, you know, there are, you know, that's not everybody has their best interests here. And, you know, when I say anybody, everybody, saying to people, the powers that be, you know, that are watching over us, and saying that they're providing, but, you know, we'll see. I just don't think I can fully trust anything at this point, because I can feel it. I know that something is just a lot different than it was, say, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And before that, it was maybe about 10 years ago. It was like, what, 10 years ago, which was about 2012. I felt a shift, and that was like my first thinking that something was not quite right, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. So
Thank you, Ev. You know, when you say the powers that be, the other day I was thinking, be that power.
yeah, there
The
be anybody.
powers that be, sorry, the
No, no,
queen, the queen bee. And then there's bees that like to make their little home here. I don't bother them. As long as they don't bother my cats, I'm good. The powers that be that power. It's like these celebrities and others just in this industry, it's like they're creating hive minds. They want to be the queen bee or king bee, whatever. And they use people. So remember that movement that was, oh, the 99%. Remember that a few years back? They wanted us to think that we're the 99. When all we need is that 1% that's going to take no shit. And it's going to be crystal clear and it's going to be full of love. God dang it, if they come against us and humanity and the children and the animals and Mother Earth, booyah, we're there. And I'm not talking about no Star Wars program. I'm not talking about secret space program. No, because that's infiltrated too. You got to have your own. You got to have your own mind set up. Are you going to follow? Or are you going to be that being that is going to help others? Not asking for anything in return. There's so many times like this month, I gave away, 4 readings because people can't pay. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. If I don't have my phone next month, that's okay. I still have my laptop, I still got my email. I can go to the library, whatever, do my videos, whatever. They're trying to shut us down so much because as targeted individuals, it's like F that reality or that realty. It's like, what more can you throw at me? Bitch, I'm here. Like they say, fish, please. And no offense to anybody. I'm just saying, like, in general, with these entities, these corporations that want you to think, like you said, that we don't have power. Yes, we do. It just, as long as you don't give away that power to the hive minds that these different societies or different, I guess, people have made to be, right? It's fitting against to that little box again.
I definitely have never felt like I fit in. I always felt like some sort of a square peg in a round hole. I was very, very, very young. It was almost like an innate knowledge at a really young age of how things were and the truth and being able to see that, I could, own my truth at a very young age. And it wasn't when I got older that I thought, maybe if I just try to fit in a little bit. And that's when everything just kind of went wrong.
I remembered what I was going to say. The fame, the relationships, the sex that we were talking about with Bollywood or Hollywood or Pedowood. We are the stars. We are the stars. Unfortunately, some of the actors and models are also like us. However, they have been infiltrated. Like, for example, Max Spears was supposed to be in Hollywood, but it was it ended up being Orlando Bloom that they selected. And so Max Spears was selected for the Secret Space program. It's interesting how, these people go to concerts and they like, I want your signature here, sign my paper, like they go crazy. They even have heart attacks because they want to have that singer's signature. My goodness. How crazy can you be? Bish, please. They're giving away their power. Who's the next? Okay, Ben Affleck and what's her name?
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer J-Lo. And people are jealous of these people. They're being used too. Look at poor Britney Spears, man. Right now she's on Instagram like freaking dancing naked. She's in one of the other altars. They have her working on that. Do you really want to be like them?
Yeah, then there's that conspiracy theory that when they had that, she was in that car accident with Justin. I don't even remember this, but this is iterating like how many times I've heard this rumor that she was in a car accident. She didn't make it, that they ended up cloning her. And then it just kind of, the clone kind of went haywire and they put almost became like a more sentient, aware and not wanting to be, controlled anymore. But still not quite, 100%.
I remember when she shaved her head and I was like, oh shit, one of her alters just came. She just woke up. That's when she had her awakening, like, oh shit, they're using me. So was it car accident after she shaved her head and all that?
It was before, because they were really, this is when her and Justin were together. I think it was like, what, oh, I don't know, 2000 maybe.
Justin
I don't know.
Bieber?
Justin Timberlake.
We're like, oh, I'm laughing because Ryder, Ryder, if you look on his Instagram, he has all these memes about Justin Bieber and
Oh, Justin Bieber.
yeah, the one who they think is in office right now. I'll
Oh,
show- but I thought that was funny. Oh yeah, Justin Timberlake, dude. So remember Nelly Furtado?
yes.
She was a come up, she was coming up, and then so Justin Timberlake took over her and made millions off of her. Nelly Furtado. So
Yeah, she did a couple of songs. It was probably
Promiscuous Girl, that one.
horrible with remembering time, and when things happened, because it always seemed at some point that I was like going through something, my own personal distraction, um, and that's kind of like what a lot of people are, many of us are going through, all these distractions and having things thrown at us, and not really knowing where to turn. So that's why a lot of us make these shows, so that we can keep you updated, and realize that you're being fed lies and mistruths.
Yeah, this whole thing about selfies, I have to be careful with that. I totally get it, like, because if you have a YouTube channel, you have your business, and you're gonna take selfies and you're gonna write down your information and stuff like that. That's awesome. You know, because Kelly and the Raw and I were talking, and she's like, I was telling her, what's up with all these freaking people taking all these selfies? And I'm also I was also guilty of that. I mean, sometimes I'll put up stuff, and I'll say stuff, but it's like, she says, well, wait. She says, what about me? I have my business. I go, yeah, of course. When you have, obviously, when we have a business YouTube channel, obviously, we do all that. But what I'm talking about is the sexual energy. Okay, for example, say you're working out, Ev, and you're fucking killing it. You're crushing them skull crushers, man. You're getting it. You're getting yours, right? And so you post a video, or like, I do on Lisa Monroe Fitness, or a picture. You're happy, right? Or it could be a picture of, oh, somebody, wants to have, they have a lot of sexual energy and like they want to be promiscuous, and then they take another picture. What I'm trying to say is that energy goes across. Models were used for that in magazines. What happened? We would look at them when we were kids. Oh my gosh, I want to be just like her. So skinny. Nah, bitch, I'm never going to be skinny. And I'm proud of it because I'm a big girl. But but all those years, man, taking all these diet pills and starving myself, and it's like they use models that way. What makes you think that they don't use the regular? What do you think social media is like? I mean, I get it. The females that decide to sell their bodies for money, for food. I'm never going to judge you all. More power to you. You know what you're doing. But what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, be careful, be aware of where this is going, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are jealous. They're jealous of these people, beautiful people, or smart people. And I just say, work on yourself. You hate yourself so much that you got to be picking on others. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Be careful. When you post that selfie, what is your intention behind that? Is your intention behind to, I don't like to use the word help because there's part of hell in there. What do you think about that?
You're exactly right. But
Remember, there's predators out there. There's freaking pedophiles out there. My goodness. Anyway, go ahead.
when I see people that like, they do this, what do you call it?
Friends, all friends, or what is it?
Your anime character, or
Oh,
or
there's so much
uh,
sex in that. I used
yeah.
to watch it when I was a kid.
Oh, I know. I have memories of being in this, a program, and being forced to watch that, and then being sexually assaulted over and over while watching anime. And
Oh, yes, I'm glad you brought that up because I do have a memory, and we were sexually assaulted with things. It was with machines. It was horrible. It's highly triggering. This is not for children, guys, and not for kids. This is for adults only. This is for people that want to heal themselves, people that want to know their mission, activate their DNA, blah, 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 etc., etc. We're not making fun of anything. We're just bringing these things out, and that's one of the ways they fractured us in the Montauk program too.
yeah.
And then, of course, in Monarch and in Project Ibis and in Mannequin and all that, we're trained assassins, baby. So why would you want to come against us? Fish, please. Ninja, please. So I'm only going to play this part because, I don't have the rights to this song. But this is my go-to workout, beast mode. Ready, guys? It's on a bird or plane, so don't look up in the sky, 'cause I'll be in your face before you even take another side. I can travel at the speed of sound. You can hear the music pumping through your speakers, baby. And I can use my voice to defeat those who resist. They don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. Woo! I love this song. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna play because I don't want to get us another strike. And if we do, we'll start another YouTube channel. I don't really, it's like YouTube is kind of like just cat stories and making pretty things and crafts, but we gotta use all these means to come up with, we gotta reach those that really want to learn and upgrade their DNA. And speaking of upgrade, the other day, I was listening to this new song. I don't know if it's new or not, but by Beyonce. And she was talking about upgrade. So she was like, it goes something like this. I don't have the lyrics with me, but she was like saying thank you to, the guy in the song or the husband, whatever. And because she's being provided for and she's going to take care of him, they got each other's back, all that stuff. And she said, I upgrade you. So we've always talked about what a superpower we have, right? Our Stargate as females. We upgrade the male or whoever we, have an intimacy, sexual relationship with, automatic, because we are the goddesses. We are the creators. And that's why there's so much hate on this earth for women, sadly. So I always tell people, especially females, beware of who you're sleeping with or who you're listening to, because they pretty much want to lure you to have sex with them. And then you're stuck the next day. Not only do they get their upgrade because of us, our DNA, but the female is stuck transmuting all those demons and archons and parasites that the male has, or whoever you sleep with. But I'm talking here for the women. What do you think about that? Right?
I think, it comes off as being an STD, but I think it's a lot more deeper than just that. It's definitely things that have attached itself to you, and that can be transmitted too as well. You just have to be careful and just, guard, your inner lights, because, you can't just share with everybody and anybody, because they're just going to take. And what if they don't give anything back? Then, you're just having people just come at you and just take like bites and pieces out of you, and you allow it. So, celebrate, being celibate, and guarding, your inner beauty, and that's what makes us beautiful as women, is that sacred, feminine. It's right here, right here in your, and like right underneath your heart. And I mean, and women are the only ones that have that power.
Right.
A lot of people are going to try and take it.
Mhm. We are like a ship. We are the Holy Grail because we can bring life into this earth, into this realm and other realms, especially if you have all these abilities. Why do you think they use some of us for the breeding program? You know, they meaning the, we'll say the Leviathan races, to narrow it down for now. They want their bloodline to keep on living. So, for example, my ex was a reptilian, so he chose me to keep, to have the babies with him because he wanted his bloodline to go. But, and I'm O negative blood type. We talked about this before, where I had to get the ROGAM shot, right? And you did too. And then that changed my children's DNA to O positive to the bloodline. So, but they're still my carrier. Some women that are raped or were raped in the past by these Leviathan races to over and over until they can have a kid, the female will feel, even to this day, when you are pregnant. Some people have the postpartum depression. It's because they feel some kind of entity that should not be there is there, and some women will have abortions. So, I used to be pro-choice, pro-life until I listened to Ashiana Dean. And I listened to the pain that these women went through. And it's generation. It is transmuted, like you said, transferred to the DNA, to the kids, and then their kids and their kids. So you have to be very careful who you're going to have sex with and who you want to be the father of your child. What kind of children do you want to create? We are the creators. We have the say so. We can say no. So if some of you have been raped like us, and we send our love to you. We totally get it. If you decide to not have this child. And believe me, I used to cry, and I'm like, man, because it would hurt to hear that so-and-so got an abortion, or so-and-so here got it, whatever, friends, family. But now I get it, and I am not going to judge. I can't judge. I've been through so much in this life that I can't judge. I don't even judge. I feel bad for the people that are out there, the homeless, even the dogs. They put out 3 dogs now. It's Lola, another. I saw a pit bull the other day that they're letting go their animals, and it's like they're the masters of this earth. Like, you guys, we can't judge. Everybody has their own life and their own story, and I believe everybody's story should be heard and not judged. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
So we are the upgraders. Be careful, women, who you choose to hang out with, because those things jump. Like, we got the NPCs, we got the Mr. Smiths, we got the woman in red, right? We were talking about that earlier in the dream. So practice. Are you being sent a distraction in your astral? Are you being sent a distraction here? Who wants to date you? Really? Where's this person coming from? Out of the woodworks. From where? That's why I went celibate again. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm done. This time I'm done because I'm happy. I am truly happy. And because we are the starseeds, we have been used as super soldiers. They will send people friends, even quote unquote, people to distract you from your mission, to watch you. They'll say, oh, I have a feeling that I'm supposed to help you monetarily. Oh yeah, well, what do you want in return? You know, be aware. They're always watching us. They're watching us through our phone, laptop, TV, LG, the Japanese hardware in the systems. Even this UE boom is listening. Even this snowball is listening, right? This AI
Yeah.
stuff. So my thing is use the AI for good, for what you need, and thank your AI systems. Thank your phone. Don't break your phone. Don't throw your phone. Be nice to your phone. Be nice to your glasses. Be nice to your coffee. It can help you, with your mission. Shungite, that's my go-to. Thank you for the bracelets you gave me. And when I go to the gem show, it's like, which crystals want to go home with me? Oh, this one Judy gave me. It was so pretty. Quartz, pink quartz.
Get this amethyst.
Thank you. Oh, amethyst. Love amethyst. I have my amethyst. You sent me some too. Thank you. You sent me some.
This is the birthstone.
This is our birthstone. Yes. I love amethyst. I have an amethyst necklace. And I have this amethyst. Oh, I put it way up there now. I was gonna go get it, but never mind. It's way up there in the in my cabinet. I have crystals everywhere.
Me too.
Ever since I was little, I just collect them, and I would find turquoise, red, and blue turquoise on the ground. Did I tell you? And earrings, rings. When I was a kid, I was like, wow, what is myself telling me? Like this book that I found in Goodwill. What, as travelers, so many, they're omens. You can say they're omens, or you can say they're markers to tell yourself, okay, this is where you are now here in the 3D, or this is what's happened. This is what's going to happen. So do you have things too where you find and maybe you sent to yourself?
Trying to think, just unusual things, but lately I just kind of feel like it's like my dad has been here, and the night, I saw him the night that the day that he passed away. I spent some time with him. I was able to, say my goodbyes, and told him, you don't have to wait for me, Dad, to come back. It's like, if you have to go, please go. I was like, just do me one favor. I was like, come see me. And that night I was home, and I was on the phone with someone, another SSP family member, and about 10:30 or so, we were on the phone, and had spent about 20 minutes on the phone, and her phone cut off and just like shut down completely. Wow. And I thought it was like really strange, because it was like, she's like, well, usually, you get a 20%, warning, your phone's at 20%, your phone's at 10%. She goes, I never got any of that. The phone shut itself off. It was completely she plugged in her phone and called me back, and we weren't even on the phone for like a few minutes. I think it was like 4 minutes total. And my daughter beeped in, and I said, hey, I gotta take this, let me call you back. And that's when my daughter told me that my father had passed away, and I asked for the time, and it was right around the time that our phone call had shut. The phone had shut off on her side, and we dropped the call. Wow. And my dog really got scared at that point and had urinated on the floor, and he doesn't do that. He got scared really bad.
Oh, your dad was there.
Yeah, he scared the heck out of the dog. But I was running a bath because I wanted to take an Epsom salt bath before I went to bed, and I was in a complete shock, and I couldn't even cry. I was just like, why aren't I crying? Why, why? I just feel like why? And I'm talking to another friend of mine on the phone who's a psychic, and he was connecting with my dad, and I said, can you ask him where he is right now? Because I had a feeling my dad was with me. And he said, oh, he's right there with you. And I looked up, and there was like, I could see my cat moving around. The door was like open about this much, and I could see out in the hallway, and I could see my cat laying there. And like I just kind of like glanced out, moved a little bit closer and looked out the door, and there was like a pair of khaki pants. Like someone was wearing khaki pants standing there by the door. And when I went to look up, it just disappeared. And my daughter said I had mentioned that to her, and she said that my dad was wearing khaki pants when he passed away. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that have been going on recently, and it's almost like he's here and helping me, but at the same time, I wanted him um to be able to just move on, and he finished his mission here. um that's just really really kind of weird, because I just kind of feel like he there was another SSP member. Well, I don't know for sure 100%, but I just, the feeling I get, who passed away the day before my dad did. And I'm kind of wondering if that wasn't supposed to be doing something, because it was right around the time
Ray
that there.
Liotta died, and that's 6'7", at 67 years old, that equals 13. So it's either a Stargate that he came from, or
Oh, and that's exactly what I was thinking too. It's just like, were they doing something? It was like some sort of right around the pack when he passed away. It was like
like, were they cloning Ray Liotta?
that kind of, you have to kind of wonder what was going on. I don't know. Maybe it's just my whole mistrust of being in the programs, and
Oh
I
yeah.
know being able to just trust what's in front of me, because it's never been that way ever since I was a kid, and just having to deal with these people and the way they think so different than, say, a normal person. um I think when everything comes out into the light, and it will,
Oh yeah.
because there's you just can't keep hiding all this darkness without it coming to the light. It's just, and no matter what they do, no matter how many times they skip the timelines or try to change it, it's going to come out, and people are going to be really shocked with the things that they've done.
Oh
I've
yeah.
been seeing some arrests and stuff of certain high-powered politicians, and kind of wondering if that wasn't something that they were involved in. But I'm not going to say any names, because it's not my place to say right now until I get actual proof. It's just the thought.
Yeah. Always trust, like I always tell you, and trust your intuition. Trust the first thing that comes into mind. Because remember when we were kids and we would take those bubbly tests, and they would say A, B, C, and D, and the teachers would say, trust your first answer.
Yeah.
But what does society do now, and even when we were young, with the trauma that was going around in our home, and the mistreatment, physical mistreatment that we had with our mothers and others, and in the programs as well, they broke us to the point where we didn't know what the heck. Like, before I had my huge awakening in 2017, I would, when you have like authority, and you're told, okay, you got like 5 minutes to get dressed, or we're leaving you, like as kids, I would make a whole mess of clothing, and then my mother would get mad, because we had a stepdad, and he used to hit her and stuff, and it's like I would have to call the cops all the time, and he didn't like that if we left the mess. But it was trauma. It was the whole anxiety thing of having to hurry up but not making a mess, but then be anxious because you have to clean up that mess, and it bleeds through here to the 3D, and it also bleeds through to our schooling. I don't know how I did it at the University of Arizona. I got a 3.0 my junior year. I was under so much stress at home, but we just do it. We just triggers. What do you do when you're anxious? What do you do when you're anxious, Eve? What is your go-to other than going to the gym? Because you go to the gym too.
Yeah. I think it's basically a lot of meditation, music, some, definitely put on my favorite music and anything that'll give me, a feeling, a positive feeling. I have singing bowls, listen to singing bowls. Um,
I sing
you
to
know,
my cats.
a lot of people will say prayer, and I do pray, but it's not to
Right. It's not that kind of
it's
pray,
kind
like
of a
I'm
praying.
just praying out, like praying over people. I'm gonna get you. Like
Definitely not that, just
church prayer, not that church. We're not talking about that, right?
right.
Right.
Not going to church. Definitely not going to church. No, no. Um, I try to at least put a little time in and give myself some, a little time, whether it be take a bath, go for a walk, take my dog for a walk, or go for a drive. Um,
I love
just
drives
something,
whenever I can.
yeah, something good for myself, because if you don't take care of you, who is, and I mean, these last few years that I've been single, it's me taking care of me, and and who better than to take care of me and know what I want than myself.
Yeah.
Because you want someone to do or be this way or treat you this certain way, but you don't communicate that, and then you're completely disappointed when things don't turn out. Your birthday shows up and you think, oh, they're going to throw me a surprise party, and you're going to have this and you're going to have that, and then the end of the night, and then he's still sitting there with his hand in his pants watching TV, and you're like, well, where's my
Exactly. Exactly. It happened to me too. I get you. However, now that we're older and that we know that it's part of the loosh, it's part of the programming that we were talking about, like the Petalwood, Hollywood. Oh, who's the next new relationship? And oh my gosh, he gave me like a $10 million ring, some bling shoes from, Louis Vuitton, this product, all these stuff like, oh, look what, and then they post it, but then they're not happy because they got in a fight anyway. You know, it's just stupid. And it so what happened with us, right? Our exes wouldn't give us gifts, flowers, nothing. Even when we had our children, we didn't get flowers from them. Um, it's an expectation that the society creates to cipher out loosh. So I don't fall for that no more. I don't need a man to tell me I'm beautiful. I've been divorced 10 years. I ain't getting married and I don't have a boyfriend. I'm celibate by choice and I'm very happy. I don't need to have that. I don't need to have sex. I don't need to have a man. I don't need to have a man support me. Some women do uh, go into relationships and marry the wrong person just because they have money, but I just can't sell my soul like that, and it's a personal choice. So going back to that, it's siphoning women's energy, well, men too, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We can't fall to that anymore. We're smarter than that. We're smarter than the next guy that comes around and wants to go on a date. Really? No, thanks. Because we're always being watched and we're always being sent people, whether it's a wannabe friend or a wannabe boyfriend. No, we're too smart for that. I mean, I thought I was finally with the one, with and no, it's not that way. So they're sent to take you away from the missions that we have. They're sent to suck out, to siphon our hearts, love space, our inner child. Like in that program, Stranger Things. It's like Al. We're like Al. We're like little. We're so innocent inside, and they've used us. And it's like in the programs, and even here, because we are good beings, we are crystal clear beings. We love a lot, and there's some people that can't. Some people are just talking shit. Like, shut up already. Who cares? Que se te resbale, way. Let it slide like butter.
Yeah.
They'll get theirs. They'll get theirs. They need the attention because they hate themselves and because they need to keep up the likes in their life. And That's pretty sad if you have to live for likes and for people to be on your team. I got me. As long as I got me, I'm good. I'm good. We manifest. We're good to others. We help others find, upgrade their DNA. We help others find out who they are. Be happy in life, right?
Right.
Work with their shadows and get to know their demons and get in control of their life. Get in control of their mind. Be careful. Be aware of what you're seeing, what you are seeing online, the memes. Be aware of what you're listening to on the music. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. At all times. Cannot go back to sleep. You cannot just trust anyone just because you're lonely.
Yeah, you can't be reinserted back into the matrix.
What?
You can't be reinserted back in the matrix.
No way, man. But then it's going to take a while for you to be in peace and happy again. You got to transmute all that stuff that happens. So I'm just saying, I know that my mission is to be alone. I'm good.
Alone up until a certain point, though. I don't see you being
No,
alone.
I'm not lonely though. It's how do you say there's a saying that says be your best companion, because how do you say be the best you can be for yourself, because you're your own companion. Or if you're going to be alone with yourself, be the best. There's I don't know if it's Osho or Rumi, something. I'll figure it out. I'll look it up. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, so what were we discussing on the break for a second? I was going to talk about it, but
yeah. Talking about the relationships, Tinder, people having these houses that are luring in people for their orgies, and they have all these toys, I guess you can say.
Oh, you like the whole trying to get dirt.
Blackmail. That's what we were talking about. Go ahead, take it away, Ev. I'm gonna mute myself.
So, I've come across like a couple of different circles of people that you got to be careful out there. Not everybody's your friend. Not everybody wants the best for you, and not everybody is silently cheering you on from behind you. Most of the ones are the ones that I sent you that message, and I said, they've smiled at our faces while turning that knife in our back. And you have to be able to watch out for those types of people, be able to use, you have a great a gift right here, and right underneath your diaphragm. It's almost like it runs your intuition. I would use it. I mean, that's what the whole thing with the Care Bears were about, was that their little tummies, that's where their powers came from. And that's where ours is centered too, not only from here, but right here, just straight down the middle of the body. And to use that to be able to realize, is this person, have my best interest in mind? Is this person being nice to me for, no particular reason? Or am I being used? Am I being made fun of? You have to be able to protect yourself and, be able to see through certain people. And, for all the crazy and deviant behavior that a lot of people will have in mind upon meeting you. And just kind of got to stick your guns out and realize that, just kind of watch out for these people, because, they could do a lot more harm, and, catching you at a weak moment, or, drugging you, or, kind of pulling you into a situation and then just kind of turning their backs on you. Well, everything that shouldn't happen happens, leaving you traumatized, or leaving you in
luring you in to move in with them in another state or country.
or trying to put you in a position where, a not very flattering sexual position or type environment where they can take advantage of you. And
Yeah,
then,
like them trying to want to have sex with you and another person, and then they're gonna take pictures and blackmail you and shit. Be careful of that.
exactly.
That's the
And
number one CIA trick with the pedophiles.
exactly. As
If
long as
they
you have
don't want- if they
something,
want we'll say somebody that's in government, whatever, high official, to do something, and then they say that they're not gonna do it, and then they blackmail them, and the next day they have pictures everywhere of them being with kids and blood. That's their
that's all they get
number
you.
one go-to, and it's still happening. So be careful. It happens to,
That's what happened on that island with all those bigwigs and stuff and going there. I'm pretty sure that all of those rooms had cameras and had, they had to get something over on those people so that they could have a hold over them, for money, power, prestige, and whatnot. And that's exactly what you have to be careful of, our people. And they are the worst. And they'll come up to you and pretend that they're your friend. But you just have to be able to look past that and feel.
or that they want to
Yeah.
marry you.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
They're gonna try to hurt me. No.
Ninja, please.
No. Not happening. And then when you catch on to what they're doing, they're gonna turn on you and try to make everybody else think that, that it was all you and that you were doing this, and they're so innocent, and you just gotta hold your voice. I mean, don't go quick to rush in to defend yourself, because that's so quick to do that. People are gonna think that there's something, well, there must be some sort of truth coming from the other camp, because why would you be over here quickly defending yourself if it wasn't true? So just your truth, hold it, and just
And just be still and know that I am peace, love, compassion for myself first, and then those that want to change. And
I gotta let the cat out. She's
okay,
scratching.
good. So reminder, we're on Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm Veronica Bartolini and my twin and co-host Eve Howard. We're going to talk about Project Artichoke. Thank you, Eve, for sending me that information. There's a reason why I wear this hat, not just because of the pre-workout, but ghosts. We pretty much died, and because of the Project Omega, they wanted us dead. We literally died, some of us, and came back. So to the agencies, we're ghosts. Okay. They used me in this program when I was at Soletzi in the police academy. I was hypnotized 3 different occasions by Sergeant, well, I'm not gonna say his name. He goes by Sergeant SpongeBob because we couldn't say his name. It was a German name. And
That's weird.
it was during the Red Man drills that I was hypnotized after the Red Man drills. All right, so also look at that movie Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington. Memorandum for the record, subject, Project Artichoke. They also used my uncle who was in the Navy. They gave him LSD and he was never the same. He was also a super soldier, and he also has my blood, German blood, last name Fisher. Artichoke is the agency cryptonym for the study and or use of special interrogation methods and techniques. These special interrogation methods have been known to include the use of drugs and chemicals, hypnosis, and total isolation, a form of psychological harassment. They want us to be alone, don't they?
Yeah.
But we are more powerful than they ever thought we would be. We're good. A review of available file information obtained from the Office of Security Resources failed to reflect and comprehensive, sorry, my phone is broken. I can't read all of this. One paper reflected that an Office of Security team as early as 1949, 1950 experimented with drugs and hypnosis, that by 1951 actual interrogations utilizing drugs were conducted by a combined team of Office of Security and Office, says OF ICE, File information indicated that in 1952 overall, responsibility for Project Artichoke passed from OSI is actual CIA, to the Office of Security. Reference to operational use of drugs as an aid to interrogation since that time were found in various files, but few details concerning these experiments were reflected. A memorandum subject titled Project Artichoke dated 21 November 1951 by Mr. Sheffield Edwards reflected. Transfer of control of Project Artichoke from OSI to the Office of Security, which is CIA. The memorandum indicated that the I and SO, Office of Security, should call upon the research and support facilities of the CIA medical staff and the Office of Technological Service as required. Responsibility for the evaluation of foreign intelligence aspects of the project were to remain with OSI. The unit within the Office of Security, which apparently coordinated Project Artichoke activities, was SRS with Mr., and then they blank out the name. For many years, the focal point. Details Artichoke operational utilizations were found in very few instances. A reference in the SRS log 1951 through 67 reflected, however, that SRS had been involved in the experimentation and use of hypnosis from the start, in quotes. In the same reference, it was stated that SRS has examined and investigated numerous unusual techniques of interrogation, including psychological harassment and such matters as total isolation. The SRS log referred to above, which converted a period from 1951 to 1967, indicated that as of 1967, the term artichoke is not in general use now, and drug interrogation is conducted from the recommendation of the agency committee, of which the chief was found, which reflected when or if overall responsibilities for Project Artichoke was transferred from the Office of Security. Anyway, it goes on and on. It says experiments on volunteers, all members of US military. No reference was found to any additional experiment in this field, nor was any reference found which reflected actual use of this technique in the operation situation. Why? Because of course they delete stuff, you know. So you know, this is like how they would use those also. They age regress you, because I have memories of being in Vietnam, and I was obviously in the Army in 1991, 92, Gulf War. They injected me, I've said it many times, with what they call 5-in-1, and that's plasmoids. That is also nanobots, black goo. Also, it was intended to track us wherever we were through our spinal cord, through our spinal fluid, and they were able to see us like we would light up. Okay, they have this thing called LiDAR. So we are being watched 24/7 in your home or not. My apartment is bugged. So what do you gotta say about that? Project Artichoke. Assassins, pretty much. Assassins. We were made to, you know, to do their dirty work.
Yeah, you have memories of that, memories of a lot of torture. And I mean, being, you know, only 5, 6 years old. And then, you know, the mind wipe that they use, the techniques that they use to wipe our memories
and give us green memories.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, so like with Stranger Things, and Al, remember she's crying and crying because, oh my gosh, she thought that she killed all those kids. And it was actually the other guy, but they gave her that screen memory. That's just what a screen memory is. So you have to go through your memories, write things down, meditate on them, Ask your subconscious, your DNA to help you remember your mRNA, your strands, right? Your bioluminescence to remind you what really happened. And when you're in the astral, when you're taken physically, be aware, look at yourself. Like I said, what do you look like? What, especially Project Kruger. I mean, killing machine.
I've had like really weird dreams where I've gone to a mirror and looked in the mirror and like I'm an older Caucasian lady. And I'm just like, oh, you know, because like even the hair is like gray or platinum or something, but the skin's not mine and it's like super wrinkly and you know, I'm just like in shock looking at myself.
I was in shock too. Last year, I saw myself right as I opened my eyes. I saw myself, I had like these fingerless black gloves. I was looking at myself. I had black shaved hair, black big eyes. I was a male and I was wearing a like a maroonish, kind of like Assassin's Creed thing, a hood. I had pants on and then I had my phone in front of me. It was like a glass phone. I was looking at myself and then I looked down. I'm like, oh shit, I'm a male. And there's fog everywhere, like a mirror. Like if I was in the shower, there's fog. They use the fog. Okay. They use that fog for many things. And I was like, holy F, that's my altar's name is Elka. That's my male altar. So yeah, there's so much stuff that goes on. Still to this day, in the 3D too.
That's weird. That name kind of almost like caught my attention.
Yep.
Elcott.
L, yeah, like
It's a very unusual name.
the angelic realm, L. And it's weird because L in Stranger Things, L for 11.
Mhm.
They gave me the
Which-
number 3 though, or the Masons thing. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, nothing. I was just muttering to myself. Well, I'm glad you were able to read those whatever I sent you on artichoke. I thought they were really interesting because wonder why they changed the name to something
Because
different.
they wanted another black project.
That's true.
They make, you know, different systems here. Let's see what else it says. You know what's weird is that I was thinking the other day, when I was at the university, I worked too, and sometimes I would have to work for these agencies, temporary agencies, and I actually worked for the government for statistics. I had to call people at dinner time and ask them questions. It's weird. I still have my W-2s from them, so I got files and files. If anybody wants to say that I wasn't in this and wasn't in that, come over, I'll show them to you. So here it says something, one Frank Olson, a civilian employee of the Department of the Army, committed suicide a week or so after having been administered LSD by an agency representative. Details concerning this incident apparently will be reported in a separate memorandum, but it appears that the drug was administered to several unwillful subjects by Dr. Gottlies, Gottlies, Gottlies. That's how I read it. At the time, a branch chief in TSS, now OTS. A short time after the LSD was administered, the subjects were told that they had been given LSD. On the day following the experiment, Olson began to behave in a particular and erratic manner and was later placed under the care of psychiatrists. A few days later, Olson crashed through a window in a New York hotel in the apparent suicide.
I'm sure.
So that's part of Project Omega, if you guys had a question about that. And the last thing that says here, 75 tag 46 on the bottom, it says a memorandum dated 1 December 1953 from the IG staff caused the impoundment of all LSD materials. Information contained in the above mentioned files reflected that the drug had been administered without the prior knowledge or approval of the Office of Security or the Office of Medical Services. So yeah, what they do to us is, you know, they put us in psych wards. They say we're crazy. Why? Because we remember. We remember.
We do remember. You have to understand that some of these people that are talking about things that they talk about, you know, where they say, oh, you know, I was a spy or I was hired to kill somebody of a, you know, a well-known person, and people are like, they're crazy. Are they? You have to kind of wonder, because, you know, you have to cut the loose ends off.
Right. So, you know, we're dangerous. We're ghosts. We're ghosts fully armored. Fully. Why the fuck would you fuck with us? Leave us the fuck alone and pay us the money that you owe us. It's millions of dollars because we are worth more than millions of dollars to these agencies.
Oh yeah. Every single one.
I mean, they pushed us and pushed us and pushed us and taken everything away. They've isolated us. We're still here, baby. What more do you got? Because we win. This time around, we win. And I'm not fighting with the secret space program. I'm not fighting with Harp and Al, you know, Elon Musk. I'm not fighting for CERN or DARPA or Star Wars or DT, all that. Oh, DT's coming back. Oh, bullshit, psyops. Anonymous was made for a reason. The blue pill, red pill, made for.
It's almost like the Oracle from the Matrix. It was just another program.
Talk about that. Talk about that more. Come on.
Oh, well, you know, they needed, in the movie, they needed the Oracle to be able to go to them, to be able to figure out what was going on or what was going to happen. And that's basically the same thing that Q is on, because, you know, QL is short, you know, for quantum computer, being able to see into the future and see possible different timelines. And that's basically what it is that, you know, there's supposedly these 10 guys that are running this quantum computer are sharing the things that they're seeing, you know, with the public as this total dual, you know, entity from apart from the system, you know, giving future glimpses of things that are to be or to happen, or that will happen.
In people's minds to create a hive mind to separate the truth. And the truth is that we are here, the real starseeds, the real SS, you know, super soldiers. I don't like that word. So I'm not going to be used for their programs anymore. We're here for such a time as this. Like we said earlier, we're awakened and we're ready. Not ready for their games. Not ready for this new wormhole to take half of Mother Earth and the children and the plants and the animals. No, for the new super soldiers. No, I'm not all about that. No more. You know, some of the super soldiers are so proud because they're gonna, you know, fight and they're gonna do all this shit and they don't even know that they're fighting for the wrong side.
Exactly. I'm just like, well, do you know who you're fighting for? Think about it. Who runs everything?
You stand for or you fall for anything, they say.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing that I thought about. It was like, well, if we're activated and we're fighting for who and for why, it actually made me stop and think, is this something that I want to continue to be a part of? Do I give my consent?
I don't.
No.
I give no consent to that. You know, and this whole Ukraine thing, it's because we're some of us are still there with Project Kruger, and it's because we are trying. There's a Stargate that's there, close to the Caucasus Mountains, and this lady Rochelle, she was saying that the NAZI are fighting against Russia. You know, we know who runs this place. It's pretty much the Germans, DOD, the CIA, you know. It's funding black projects. Look at the gasoline. Why is it up? Because they want us to stay home. They want us to be isolated. Wow, we're going to manifest. And thank you for your contribution.
Chris.
So, yeah, they want men to have babies now. And then she says that Nexium is involved with child trafficking and that Nike and Bush are together with, what's his name? I have it
Wouldn't-
here. Where's, oh, says Nike, Biden, and Nazi are with Bush too. I would love to interview her, but I don't know if she's ever on camera anymore because she's so targeted, that lady. Rochelle something on Basis Project with Miles Johnston. But and I feel also that it's part of the control of the black goo, which is actually in petroleum, and it's a sentient being. Our vehicles can run in water with water, but they made it to where we have to use their gas. Pemex, my grandfather, my mother's father, was in Pemex for years. He ended up getting emphysema and blood and everything coming out of him before he died. Yes, he was a smoker, but imagine smoke. He would drink every day. My thought, he would not talk. Sometimes I wonder if he was with some of the agencies or something because he never spoke. And he didn't like for us to give him kisses and hugs. I would, I didn't care. But he was very loving. He was atheist and he would not talk unless spoken to. And I feel that his death had a lot to do with Pemex and the petroleum. What is in petroleum? The black goo, right? In Iraq and Iran, they've always been fighting because Stargate 10 is there, according to Ashiana Dean. And we all hold the keys to the Stargates and the Q sites, and they need us to run this world. But guess what? We're not going to fight with them for them anymore. I do not consent. So, isolation. Yes, you're right. Sometimes we do need, people around us because, we want that that personal, hug or that personal view, just camaraderie, just friends, but you got to be careful who your friends are. In Spanish, there's a saying, says, dime con quién te juntas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you are surrounded by, who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. So it's that kind of a situation. So I guess if you have nothing else to say, we can end it now, or what else would you like to talk about?
Let's see. I know that there's like some more things, but I figured we could probably do something later. This was in regards to a lot of us that are not in relationships and the kind of relationships that that probably would work out best if we're going to be in them, to be in with someone who is a lot like yourself, because it's really hard to be in a relationship with someone who is not in these programs, because it's almost like it's almost like a double life,
It's
and
kind of
you've done that enough.
AI, but I'm not talking bad about AI, because AI, if you know how to tap into AI, you can use them for good, and they always have your back if you're good with them too. But yeah, it's kind of like living with a foreigner, like veterans like us that SSP veterans and Army veterans. It's like you can't really have a relationship with a normal, I guess you can say, a person that's not awakened, or a person that doesn't have the compassion toward you to not judge you, because I've met some veterans that they are just stuck on the whole religion thing, and if you have tattoos, you're bad.
Yeah.
Then why did you want to go out with me? It's so stupid. Another thing that Rochelle said real quick is that they want immortality. That's why this whole thing is, this whole program that's running Star Wars and all that, is because they want immortality. We are eternal beings. If you look at that movie, Eternals, I cried and cried. I couldn't watch the whole thing that first night. Susan told me to watch it, and it was just so dramatic, because that's the whole thing. It says it all why we're here. Hunger Games. She mentioned Hunger Games, and Rochelle did, and it's like they took us to clone us to see who really has the Yeshua and Mary Magdalene bloodline. That's why they did this secret space program, and others like Stargate.
I think they suspected that the ones that had the power or the abilities were from the bloodlines, and so I mean, once they were able to tap into that DNA, they were able to go actual back in time all the way and follow that to the very end.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. She also mentioned that, you know, the one who was assassinated, the president, that his wife is going to be assassinated soon, she said. Let's see. Who hides the blood? The stock market. Greek versus Hebrews, she says. It's interesting that James Caswell has a recording from last year. I don't know if he was still in jail or not in prison, but he says he chants something on the recording, and then at the end he says Commander Wolf. Remember the programs of the wolves. We also have that bloodline, the wolf program. So when the full moon comes out, the wolf comes out at night. Predator, right? Oh man, that thing that was that being that was that when I was taken 2 days ago, he was growing these horns and then these fangs, and then he was gray, like cement gray, and then he had multiple teeth coming out, like different jaws, red eyes, and then I'm like, is that all you got? I've been seeing these things since I was a little girl, under my bed, in the closet. So if people say, oh, you're crazy talking about aliens, and yeah, of course, these people can dress up also as aliens, and they have the technology, so they can warp into whatever they want. They can shapeshift, you know, but some aren't real shapeshifters. That's where the O negative bloodline comes in, the originals, because we can shapeshift,
Right.
because we can go through wormholes, because we can go and do like Alice in Wonderland and the technology, and right. If you look at the movie Beetlejuice, the code word that I found coming back when I was taken is I'm already home. It's too late. I'm already home. What does that actress, what's her name?
Judy Garland.
No, she comes out in Beetlejuice with one of the ballrooms.
Oh, Winona Ryder from Stranger Things.
No. I'm talking about Beetlejuice, the movie, where that guy, you know, they have to say the name 3 times. And Beetlejuice is actually a planet or star.
Yeah.
And they show the worms, you know, the worm.
The sandworms.
Yeah, the sandworms. And then when they call him to help, the couple to help him, because they're like dead, and they're like, what the heck? We have the book of the dead here. What do we do? How do we come back? And he's being very perverted, you know, with her, and he's showing his face, and all these tentacles stuff comes out of his face, and she gets scared. He's trying to, you know, have sex with her in this realm, and the husband's like, what the heck's going on? And then she says, home, home, home. Keyword. When you're stuck, whether you're taken physically or in the astral, home, home, home. Like ET phone home?
Yeah.
That's a code word right there. Just throwing it out there. It worked. Okay, Miss Eve Howard, thank you for being on with me. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you. How
I'm glad that I did
Thank you. Me too. What do you do? How can people locate you? Or
Oh, well, right now I'm still connected into Facebook, so you can contact me, Eve Howard on Facebook. I'm also on Rising Spirit on Facebook, or you can contact me on Instagram, Evie Schmeevy. Currently having issues with my website right now, so I'm gonna have to redo all of that, and it might take a little bit, but you can contact me on WhatsApp, different
are you on Telegram or Twitter?
I think I'm on Telegram, but I haven't used it in so long, but I am also on Twitter. It's also Evie Schmeevy, EVIESH, no, SCHMIVIE. And you can contact me in that. Yeah.
Whenever you say that, I remember the movie Hanging Up, and he calls one of his daughters Evie Schmeedy.
Evie Schmeev. Yes, I don't know what it all started in high school, and my girlfriend would call me Evie Schmeevy, and it just kind of stuck. So yeah, so if you have any questions, or you want to talk, or you have any information you want to share, I'm also a Reiki practitioner. So I do healing. I do being able to do like readings during the healing session. I'll be able to draw up some things that you might be thinking about, or worrying about, or wondering about. So, you know, because I'm a clairaudient, clear cognizant, clairvoyant, and empath, a sensitive, and I'm slowly tapping into like a lot of my psychic and telepathic as well. So that's about it.
Thank you. I am Veronica Bartolini. You can Google me, Google my name. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Telegram, Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchaining Hearts, Unchained Hearts, Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm a healer also. I can remote view, galactic, whatever, off planet. I do talk therapy, coaching sessions. I'm a recovery coach certified through Hope Incorporated. I am also certified behavioral health tech. And so I do coaching. I break hexes. I can go into your house, and if you're having paranormal activity, you can call me or Evie.
Yep.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.